Hello Minecrafters, and welcome to episode 52 of our Direwolf 20 Let's Play series. And here we are back in our applied energistics area, and after last episode when we got some of our storage cells moved down here, I went ahead and I got my patterns moved down here. And I actually filled up a majority of these. I've got that one open and two slots there open. So after the last episode, I went ahead and got all this put together and pretty much just did the exact same thing here as I did over there. So basically doubled up the area. And as you can see, for the molecular assemblers, we've got all of this room here now, and there's actually a little bit more here. And the reason for this is, and I'm actually going to go in and replace these once I can figure out which one it is. Back in the old base, I had the molecular assemblers here. I had the 5 interfaces stacked here. And I had actually named them, so because I couldn't physically access them. And so I had named them so I'd know which one was which. Well, the problem is whenever I went back to rename them back to ME interface, since it's a custom name, it's actually seeing it as different. So we've got those 11 plus those 5, which is 4, 4, 4, and 4. 16, 11 and 5, 16. So, but anyways, it all comes out the same. It just doesn't flow as well here. So what I'll end up doing is I'll probably go back in here, and what I'll probably do is reference back to the video because I had streamed it on Twitch, so it's actually recorded, so I can go back to that and look. I think those 4 and the bottom one here, but if you actually look at them, they look all the same, so you can't really tell by looking at them. So I'll probably go through and pull those out, replace them, see if that's it, and if so, I'll just chuck those or whatever. Anyways, next item up for bids. End of the last episode, I said something about working on some more of the automation. And so what I believe we're going to do today is we're going to work on the automated Certus or Pure Certus Quartz, and it can be kind of a pain. I used to have it set up in the other area in the wall, and so but I'm wanting to actually set it up so that it's automated, and I'll set it up also so that we can do this with it. That way we've constantly got a specific amount. That way anytime we need Pure Certus Quartz or Fluix or anything like that, then it's automatically here and we don't have to worry about it. It'll automatically be in the system, so we don't have to worry about waiting for it to craft or anything like that. So I think what I'm going to do is build that over in here, and so I'll just where do I want to put it? I don't want to go down this way too far in case I got to build another one of these walls. So I guess, and it's going to be in a cross pattern, and I want to make sure I got room to get back over there. So I guess right here should be about the right spot. And there's going to be a lot of digging and replacing and all that, so just bear with me. I had this laid out earlier just to test, and hopefully I can remember how I had it built. If not, well, it won't be that much different from usual, me trying to figure out what on earth I'm doing. So without further ado, I'll see if I can get this block to sit straight. Now will you? Thank you. Okay, so these are our growth accelerators. And And so we'll have to cable those together. And let's see. Where do I want to put these things? Now, if I have my power acceptor there, because what I'm looking at is I want to be able to, I want to be able to cut off the power to the power acceptor. That way we can conserve power when it's not actually working. And I'm going to be doing that with Steve's Factory Manager. Okay, so let me go ahead, get this put in place. So what I'm doing is trying to figure out where I want the power acceptor placed so that I'll know where the cables are going to go and all the other things that the placement of it will affect. Well, we can try it out right there for now and see how that does. So that'll give a rough estimate, so we can have that there. Now the next thing we're going to do, cobble there, is on Steve's Factory Manager you have an item valve. And what this does is, instead of, let's see, where on the inventory cable, when you have the cable down and then you have a chest and then you have the inventory manager, when you pull this up and you do an input and you're looking at your inputs, you've got the chest, which is 4 blocks away over here. Well, what you can do with this item valve is it works the same way, except instead of looking in a chest or another device or something like that, it's actually looking in this area that is past this little opening. So if we take this and place it here, you can see how it's kind of square there and circled here, whereas the other sides are not like that. So when this is hooked up to the inventory cable, whatever side this hole is facing is the side it's going to be looking at, instead of anything that it's actually connected to. So what we're wanting to do is we're wanting it to register this area in here that's in between all of the crystal growth accelerators. And I'm hoping that I can use that to my advantage to be able to get this to detect when something's there and use that to cut on a redstone signal to cut these on and off. So go ahead and place my water in there, close that up, open this up a little bit, and we can go ahead and start digging this out a little bit. So I'm going to take that out and use the inventory cable here. And what I'll end up doing is having my power come in here. Do I have any torches? Yeah. Oh, that works out good. Okay. And we'll run the power back over here. And I'm not going to be able to put it there because of the torch. Really, one short. All right, well, go get more power if I have any. Yep, I do. That'll work. Okay, put that one there. And so what I'll do is I'll take this, put it on insert with an active or with a signal. I think that's where I want it. Okay, gonna have to turn into an Ender Mini. All right, so that's gonna be there. Or do I want it here? I don't guess it really matters. Okay, let me go ahead and fill this in then. And so what I'll need to do is take the inventory cable and I'm going to connect that to here. Okay, and I can put all right, so then I can take and put open crates later, my redstone emitter. And what this will do is this will attach and emit a redstone signal. And I guess I can go ahead and put, where is it? Put that right there. And then I'll put a chest here. Yeah, that'll work. So for my inputs, I should have 3 different places to register. You've got the chest, the item valve. Well, okay, yeah, it won't be that because that's an output. So we have, for our inputs, we can either input from the chest or from the item valve. I didn't know the AE cable would come up. That's kind of cool. So what we're wanting to do, first thing we're going to want to do is we're wanting to detect in this the items that we're going to be making. That way we can cut on the redstone signal. So the first one is going to be, let's see, I'm going to want to take that and that. And that. Oh wait, I've already got one of those ground up. I don't have any made. Okay, then I'll take a Pure Certus Quartz, one of you, and a redstone. And I'll show you why in just a second. That in there. And as long as I shift, then the band shouldn't pick it up. So now I've got my Fluix crystals. And there's that. Oh, I need to ground that one. Need to put my octadics in here too. And get my sand. That should do that. Okay, put my sand up there. Then I'm going to get that seed, and that one. And the reason for this is okay, I want to get rid of this one because what we're going to set up here is a condition. If I can find where it's at. I don't use this a whole lot. Create a condition. There we go. So I still have a difficult time finding my way around sometimes. And from that condition, we're going to create one of two redstone emissions. And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Okay, so our condition. First of all, we're wanting to look in the inventory of the item valve, which is going to be just above the item valve. So we'll take the up and activate it. Then for the inventory, we're going to do if any, because we don't want it to require everything we put in, but any of what we put in. But what we're going to put in is .inv, because what this does is this just looks in my inventory. So I can do the Certus Quartz and that, and it remembers the inventory, and the Nether, the Fluix seed, and the Fluix crystal. So then I want to go back through and right click. And instead of a precise detection, I'm wanting to put this NBT independent. And the reason for that is precise detection is going to change as soon as it begins to grow. So what we want to do is we want this to be on an NBT independent detection so that, well, that one doesn't really matter. That one doesn't have to be in there. Because, and the reason is for Fluix, you don't need the power. All you need is the water. Or these are the ones that need the water and gain growth by the accelerators being cut on. But by turning this the NBT independent detection on, or setting it to that, as this percentage increases and as this stages up toward the finished product, it's going to keep seeing it as a Certus Quartz seed because it's not looking for the NBT data. So our condition will stay the same. So as long as it's true and that item is there, we're wanting to go here, if it'll let me pick it up, to this emitter. And from this emitter, we're going to emit from this redstone emitter a strong power. And you can use this to determine which side you come off of, but for now I'm just going to leave them all on. Our output we want fixed at a power of 15, but we do not want to emit a pulse. We want it to be constant. If you click this, it's going to pulse. So that should be it for that one. And on our false, so when there's not anything there, we're wanting to go to that same emitter for the strong power. But instead of 15, we want to emit a single signal strength of 0, which essentially cuts it off. And same with the pulse. You don't want to change that. So this will now control whether it is emitting or not. And so we're going to go ahead and test it. And actually, I want to take the water out so I don't have to worry about it cutting on. And I'm gonna take and put this little lamp down there so we can better tell when it cuts on. So if I shift and drop that, it should, there you go. That red light comes, or the redstone emission cuts on. You can see the sparks, and my lamp cut on as soon as that seed hit. And now as I take the shift off and my magnetic ring picks that back up, you'll see them cut off. Same thing with the Nether Quartz seed. And the Fluix seed. just like that. So that is all working correctly. And as you can see, it cuts back off whenever I take them back out. So next item up for bids, we want to go ahead and encase this just a little bit. And I can put my water back in there. Oh, come on. Now I'm going to be using the open crate here and an ME interface. Guess I can put that, should be able to put it there. And then I will, where's my cable? There's my smart cable. And I can cable that right back to there. Now, the second thing that we're wanting to do I'm going to go ahead and dig this out for now. And I want to go ahead and drop that in there. Actually, I want to take this off. Drop those down in there. I'm going to drop those and those. So those can be cooking up for a minute. Now, on top of this, I'm wanting an import bus. And if you remember, like I've said previously, an import works in reference to your AE system. So that you're wanting the AE system to import whatever's in this chest into the AE system. And then I'm going to run my smart cable. I don't want it to connect to that. And as soon as I put that there, it's going to try to. There's my wrench and that. I can fix that. Cable anchor. It probably doesn't matter because these don't use a channel anyways. I prefer to keep them separated. Yeah, just kind of to make sure. Okay, there we go. Now I want to take and run. I guess I can go ahead and run that straight down. Like that. Have y'all finished yet? I'll give you a little while longer just to make sure. Okay, they have finished. Actually, I'll go ahead and leave them in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another program in here. Okay, I'm going to drop the trigger, and it's just going to be an input and an output. Now on the input, inventories of the item valve. This is where we're wanting to pick up at. Going to target the up, so activate it. And the items we're wanting to get are our Pure Certus Quartz, our Pure Fluix Crystal, our Pure Nether Quartz Crystal, and our Fluix. our Fluix crystal. So that's what we're wanting to pick up. And then our output is going to be the chest, which may as well do the top. Items, any. Don't have to change that at all. So once I hit this, those items should go in here like that. And they will sit there until we get this set up so that we can import them into the ME system. So that is what we're going to do next. And so I want to break into the wall here and find out what we've got available. Okay, now if you look here, yeah, let's see, I'm looking, okay, here on our dense cable, you can see that we're using 16 channels. We've got 8 and 8, so we're only using 16 off of this P2P. Now if you look here on the P2P tunnel, we're using, what, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can add one more P2P tunnel to this. So that is how we're going to get our channels down here. Because what we need to do is we need to get 2 channels down here. So we'll bring that in. I guess we can bring it in right along with that. That ought to work. Okay, I guess I'll have to drop down to Ender Mini so I can get through there. And I'm just going to straddle this on with our power. Just like that. Until I get to there. And so then that ties back in up top. So now what I should be able to do, there's my smart cable. Get out of Ender Mini for one thing. Okay, I want to place that there. And I want to take that out for now. And get my magnet back. Okay. So actually, let me pick that one back up. Put that one there. Put in my P2P tunnel there. No. Because that's facing the wrong way. Alright, so I'll take those out. Place that one there. That should work. See if I can get to where I can see that. Okay, so on our P2P line, you can see we're now using our 8 channels. So now I should be able to program this one onto our P2P network with our little card here on this side. And so I want to take the card, clear it, shift right click to save, and then use it to program that one. Now you can see our channels have shown up, and we should see a new interface on here. Nothing. And that's it, because this isn't attached. So now it should see that. And there we go. There's our open crate. So now, oh yeah, almost forgot. Did I put, yeah, I already put the import bus on there. And it imported our items. Good. So let's science this. Which one did I have? Not that one. I've got the Nether Quartz dust. So I want to go down here. No, not that. Let me go get a terminal. I'm going to need a channel too. And I don't have any channels over here. All right, I'll sneak a channel in over here. All right, I can borrow a channel from there until I can get something else laid out. Grab that. And we'll place our pattern terminal here. Put in a couple of patterns. And we'll go with our pure Nether Quartz. And so for this, you have to drop a Nether Quartz seed made from Nether Quartz and dust. So you want Nether Quartz dust here. And this is a crafting pattern. And sand here. And that will get us 2 seeds. And we can just take that and go down on this end. Where was it? Ah, that's the one. Okay, and then next what we're going to do is we want to take and make this, because we're wanting to take and drop that and make, oh, where did it go? And actually I want to drop 2 because that's how many it will make. So that 2 make 2. And then I want to pull that one, and that is going to go here. Just like, well, might help if I grab the right thing. Just like that. So now we should be able to come over here, take our magnet off to make sure I don't mess anything up. We'll pull that one out, and we'll craft. We're going to tell it 1. But it knows it has to make 2 until it starts. And so this should, and as you can see, there are 2 seeds down in there. This is lit up, so this is working. And I know we've run over time, but I just want to run this all the way through. Shouldn't take but a minute. And just to give you a heads up, this episode was also recorded while I was on Twitch. So if you want to see the behind the scenes of the setup and the aftermath and things like that, what I did before the recording, what I did after the recording, you're more than welcome to head over to my channel on Twitch TV. I'll go ahead and highlight this recording. That way it should be there. As long as you go there within, I think, 30 or 60 days, you can look at past recordings and you can see the things that I've been doing. I just have started doing the Twitch TV thing as far as tying it in with my YouTube recordings. If I'm not mistaken, this episode and the one previous to this one were both done on Twitch. So you're more than welcome to head over there and check that out. And if you want to, you can follow me on Twitch TV, and you can get an alert as to when I'll be, or when I go live on my broadcast. Abdullah stopped by. He couldn't stay quite as long as when I started recording, but he did get a chance to see the lead up. So now he'll get to see the party mist. And like I said, you can go back and check it out. So this should be almost done. And now it vanishes and should be in our system. And there's our 2. So now we have the ability to automate the pure nether quartz crystal. And the advantage to that is I can take this and I can come over here. I can run this up. Let's say I want to keep, what, 32? All right, so I've got 6 in here now. And this will start dropping seeds in. And it will run out. Well, actually, no, it won't. Let's see. Okay, right now it's crafting 2. Once it crafts these 2, it'll send it over there, and then it'll pick up the remainder of that. Now, I will need to set up recipes for the lower end of this. So I'll need to set up the recipes to tell it how to make the powder by running the nether quartz, or the nether quartz through the grinder or the sag mill, and things like that. So there's a little more back end stuff to this, but like I said, as we have it now, it does know how to do this. So it shouldn't take much to set up the remainder of it. So that should be this episode. I hope you did enjoy the episode. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully it helped you out. If it did help you out, please make sure to click like down below to help me out as well. If you have any questions, make sure to post those down in the comments. And if you'd like to be notified when we post up our next video, make sure to subscribe. But most of all, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you were entertained and learned something. But most of all, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the show. So I'm Jim Slate. Take care and God bless.